California is leading the nation with our master plan for aging. We are looking forward to the year 2030 when 1 in 4 Californians will be age 60 or older.
The master plan allowed us to bring about transformative change, and it established a vision for California, a California for all ages and abilities.
We've made tremendous progress, but it's also important that in addition to celebrating that progress, that we recognize that we have a long way to go to get to that true place where we all feel equal, feel welcome, feel that we are truly part of the greater society, the greater whole.
My disability is I am a hemiplegic. In other words, I'm totally paralyzed, in this case, my right side. The reason for that is because I had a brain bleed, which caused the left brain to totally be destroyed. Not only does it not bother me, I cannot feel it. I cannot experience it because my body does not allow me to feel pain. I appreciate folks who want to do and care for me. They said, well, we'll make your bed. I said, no, I want to do it because that is part of me that tells me that I can still function.
We have been married for 65 years. Since about 7 years ago, she had dialysis.
He take care of me, and my son take care of me.
Clean house and all the housework.
I got a few hundred social security, so I can afford to hire someone to take care of me.
Myself as a person who's been blind all my life, it's just part of who I am. But I think it's important to recognize that disability is individualized, experience different by every person. So the fact that I'm blind doesn't mean that the next blind person experiences blindness in the same way as an example.
The other barrier that I think that's important to understand with old people is that we don't often get to do a lot of things that we want to do, okay? My biggest barrier is transportation. It's a burden because of the transportation. I have to get on a bus, the trolley, and an hour to and from, and it drains me.
We here in California have a very good system that makes it possible for us as we age to get proper care and housing and such, but there's still a lot of homelessness.
When I became homeless, I lived downtown. Outside of McDonald's is a commercial green electrical box, right in front of the bus stop. I slept on top of that for 2.5 years, not knowing anything. I had a good life, and then you get snapped. What do you do? Where do you go?
My sister up in LA called me one day and she needed help with my dad. So I left my house here and I went up there to help her. I stayed up there for a little while. Then he passed away, so I came back down here and I was living at my brother's ranch, but it got sold. So from there, it was hard. There were a couple of times I ended up staying in my friend's car. I didn't realize it because I wasn't going to the doctors as I should have until I had a minor stroke myself. And then through my friends up at Talmadge, they helped me get into a program, the PACE program, being in a helpless situation. Doesn't feel nice.
My mom's name was Linda, and she was a single parent and just one of the most amazing people that I have ever known. And it was about a year after I started a graduate program that she was actually diagnosed with an aggressive form of breast cancer. She wanted to age in place, she wanted to age at home, and she made it very clear to me that she wanted to die at home. After this very, very short window of time where we thought things were gonna be okay, I learned, my role as a caregiver was not over. My mom still needed me, and this time around, things were going to get significantly worse. She was going to decline, and it was going to be painful.
I think a lot of people think, well, it's not going to be as exhausting as it is. And they think, well, I love this person, I can take care of them. In your mind, how it's going to be and the reality of it is very, very, very different.
Basically what needs to happen is the caregiver themselves, they need to know if they can do the job. They need to know right up front what exactly they're going to be doing. But if you have an honest desire to care about another person and do the manual labor, great, we need you.
My husband had Alzheimer's for 10 years. He was a very smart man. He was an architect. And when he was still good, he also got the diagnosis that he had cancer. But I didn't realize how close he was to dying. And Del Oro helped me and got me some respite.
People need people. And I think it's really important for us to see the aging process. It's not something that should be hidden away. It's actually something that is really important for reminding us of our need of each other.
You can't sit at home and feel sorry for yourself. You've got to realize that you're getting up in age and that you got to stay active, and that's the way I look at it.
And you've got to have an outstanding sex life.
Our elders have so much wisdom and so much experience to offer us, and I think everybody deserves to be able to age with dignity.
2030 looks like a time or era where we have consumers coming to us to say, I like this change that's been made.
And when we talk about a California for all, that truly must mean all, exception none. We leave no one behind.
But the population is growing. We will need more services, more home and community-based services, and more services that are tailored to our diverse population by 2030. Our hope is by that year, everything will be well in place to meet the demands of a growing population.